All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Welcome one, welcome all. It's Saturday edition. Sorry I couldn't be on yesterday. Here's our live broadcast here from the YouTube. I'm putting the link in. Good morning. Good morning. Woo! Yeah, it's Saturday morning. Yes, it's a special edition of the NFC North. And this is, I am your host, the NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne. That is me right here. We are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions news. We are broadcasting live into Bill the Packer fans group. We are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fans. And we are broadcasting live into our page right here, the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. Please give us a follow right now. If you're listening right now and you're watching on one of the things, go into the Villain Squad, give us a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we do this every morning. We do this every morning, every weekday morning, and we talk NFC North. And we're actually going to be changing up Fridays. We're going to be doing our Lions main event on Friday too, because we can talk about the North 4 days a week, but we got to be talking about our Lions in this too. So what do we have in the comments this morning right here? We have Jordan. Good morning. Good morning. 26 hours to kick off. You like that? I do like that. Yeah. Al says 1 and 2. 1 and 2. You don't have any faith? You think we're going to lose to the Falcons? You think so? You think the Lions are going to lose to the Falcons? You think that the Vikings, the battle of the 0 and 2s? What do you got for the battle of the 0 and 2s? Yeah, we got some interesting games this weekend. We definitely got some interesting games. What do you got? The Packers versus the Saints. Got the Packers versus the Saints. Who do you got? Who's that lock pick for you? Packers versus the Saints. Lions. The Lions. 1 and 1. Bringing in the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think of that? Who do you got? Your lock pick. Al thinks we're going to be 1 and 2. Robert says, good morning, bitches. FYT, go Pack, go. I don't like that. Packer fans like that. Bill the Packer fan would like that. I don't know if Kirk Cousins would like that, but, well, you never know. You never know. The Vikings, the 0 for 2s. The 0 for 2s. Somebody's got to win that game, right? I mean, maybe they could tie. They're not going to tie. What's up, Chad? Chad's in there. Hey, a Viking page in the intro. Oh, it's not a Viking page. That was Jamez. I invited Jamez to come onto the show, talk about the Vikings today. We'll see if he shows up. I think he's the last Viking fan that's left. I think Sarah's still out there somewhere. What's up, A-Dub? Good morning. Good morning to you. I did throw the YouTube channel where we're broadcasting, where we have a few people watching over on our YouTube channel. I'd like you to go over there. And if you're on the YouTube channel, can you please hit that like button? Hit that like button on the video. That's free. That's free, and that helps us out. And we appreciate all the help that we can get. You got these, you got the Bears. The Bears. The Bears. Got to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, those Bears. They're reeling. According to Justin, it's all the coaching's fault. The coaching. It's the coaching's fault. Come on, man. You gonna blame it on the coaching? You missing wide open guys all over the field? And you're going to blame it on the coaching? Justin Fields, that's why I didn't put you in this picture. You don't deserve to be in this picture. Got Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. Going to be playing them Minnesota Vikings. I mean, who would ever thought? Who would ever thunk? Who would have thought that the Vikings and the Chargers would be 0-2? I mean, isn't that a surprise? That didn't surprise nobody? Didn't surprise nobody at the Vikings and, I mean, it didn't surprise me that the Vikings were 0-2, but definitely the Chargers. I thought that team was pretty good. Man, I thought that Justin Herbert was pretty good. You know, a lot of people thought that the Lions should have drafted Justin Herbert over Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah gets a revenge game. It's the Packers home opener. That's what Robert says. There you go. It's the Packers home opener. They're bringing in the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints is the best defense you've faced. It's the best defense. What's up, Scotty Reno? All right, we got the same old Lions guy. These guys come out of the woodworks every time they lose a game. I used to think that it's like one versus the other, but the same old Lions people, they shrink back into obscurity when they win a game. They don't comment at all. They just don't show up until they lose. And when they lose, yeah, same old Lions. Yeah, the Lions are going to lose another game this year. I don't know which one's going to be. I don't know if it'll be this weekend. Smash that like button. That's what Chad says. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Right? If you're watching it on our YouTube channel, hit the like button. If you're watching it on the Villain Squad, hit the like button. If you're watching on Detroit Lions News, hit the like button. It's free. Free. Just smash the like button. I mean, you can hit the thumbs down button too. Gosh, this guy sucks. He sucks. He hasn't said anything good about my team. I might say something good about your team if your team does something good. Why not? But we got some big games this weekend, man. These are good. I like that lineup. Big, important games. And we're setting up some stuff too. It's a big game right on the horizon. Robert's been talking about it. On Thursday night next week. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I know the coaching staff isn't, but Lions are going to Lambeau. They're going to Lambeau on Thursday. Less than a week away. And the Lions get to continue that streak of whipping that ass.
Playoffs.
Who's the pick? Lions are bringing in the Falcons. Bijan Robinson. Desmond Ridder. Is that Mariota? Did I put the wrong guy in there? No, that's Desmond Ridder. That's not Marcus Mariota. That's Desmond Ridder. Coming into Ford Field. There you go. Minnesota Vikings versus the Chargers. And then the Chiefs going in there to whip that ass on the Bears. What is it? I think a 13-point underdog. Think that's too much points? I mean, I think that we can all concede to the fact that we thought that that we would think that the Bears are going to lose that game. But by 13, this is the NFL, dog. This is the NFL. Most of the games are close. Lifeless is John Dorn. Oh my gosh. We already got the trash talking going in here. Trash talking is all through here. Let me go through some of these comments. Okay, Detroit. Daniel says, we need to start fast and dominate the line of scrimmage. Is Bugs active this week? Hopefully, we can get some damn tackles within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage on the run plays. Lions have been really good against the run. These are definitely the best run test. Nobody runs more than the Atlanta Falcons. But yes, Bugs is going to be active this week. He put a little tweet out there. Says that we need to come Be ready to yell loud. LMAO, says Rob. Hope that answers your question, Daniel. There you go. I think that we are going to have a good week. Bugs is active in the single dads club. Thank you for getting my back on that. Mike says, gotta hope the North loses across the board since Fields is still sucking, but I think the Lions can win if Gibbs can ball out. Yeah. Is Gibbs going to get a whole bunch more? They're going to give him some more touches? What do you think on Gibbs? I think they'll give him, they should give Gibbs some more touches. I think he can get 10 to 15 carries this week. I think that we're going to get to see Bam Knight. See what he can do. But no, I think it's a good opportunity. I still think the offensive line is going to be really, really good with Sewell and Jonah Jackson and Ragnow. I still think that's going to be a formidable left side right there. They should be able to run over there. So Gibbs will get his chance. The Bears going to get wrecked. Yeah.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
The Kansas City Chiefs, Chris Jones back. They still got Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. Maybe the ghost of Matt Nagy will come through and the Bears can pull the upset over the Kansas City Chiefs like the Lions did. What do you think? After this week, the Lions will be 1-3. Yeah, that's a possibility. It is possible. It's amazing how the world turns. But you know what? After this week, the Packers also could be 1-3. I mean, if you guys are looking past the New Orleans Saints, the 2-0 New Orleans Saints, I think they're about to find out. They're about to find out. The Vikings and Chargers toilet bowl game. Yeah, somebody's got to get a W. I'll be rooting for the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Whip that ass. That way I can be right. I've been talking all kinds of shit about the Vikings all summer long. And I want to be right. That's what this is all about, right? I want to be right. I'm going to be right. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. What do we got in here? We got anything good? Yeah, we're going to smack them lion bums after we take out the Aints. Yeah. Yep, that's a possibility. You like that? That's a possibility. We'll see. We got to see who Jordan Love really is, right? He's been playing really well, but he ain't been completing a lot of the passes. You were 0 for 6 in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love, what are you going to do when you tested? You failed the first test. You had a chance to win that game. Let's see if they can do that. I think that the Saints have a better defense than any defense that they've faced yet this year. So it's going to be interesting. Who do you got? Who do you got? You got the Aints, that Robert said, the Aints versus the Packers. Bringing them in, home opener. The home opener. Right there. LMAO, Bears are the worst team of the 2023 season. Isn't that funny? Yeah. They were thinking they were going to be the division winners. They were going to take the Packers off of their perch. We are the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, and the history and all of the history of Lambeau and Lambeau Field. Yes, the history is there of the Packers whipping that Bears ass. The history is there. They have past ownership. The torch from Aaron Rodgers goes to Jordan Love as he whips that ass also. All right, Gibbs is a wasted first-round pick. Yes, I love the trash talking. I love the trash talk because somebody's going to be right. Maybe he's a bust, right? Who knows? All that ability and, wow, maybe Gibbs is a bust. I see 3 games that should be a battle in our division, and one game that will either shock the world or shock no one. All right. We're going to shock the world. What would shock the world is if the Bears were to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be the big shocker. Single Dads Club says they need to give Gibbs the full load. Yeah, I mean, you got to see what you have. I mean, you did. You drafted this kid 12th overall to be your primary weapon. I couldn't think of it any other way. Sam Laporta looks like he's a badass. So these rookies, I mean, as they get better throughout the year, and they will, the 4 rookies that are going to be making this impact, maybe we'll even see a Broderick Martin signing this. But I mean, between Brian Branch, Laporta, Jack Campbell, Gibbs, I mean, you're expecting these guys to produce. Brian Branch has been good. Jack Campbell's been good. So we'll see. No Monty, Gibbs will get his chance. I believe in that right there. Come on, John. You already want to troll this year. You don't need your ghost account. Chad's trolling. John Dorn's troll account. His shadow account. We could only be 1 and 2. Yeah. I don't want to be 1 and 2. I want to see the Lions go out there and win this game and protect their home field. It's a winnable game. Desmond Ridder hasn't been very good on the road in his career. And I think it's a very winnable game. They run the ball. The Lions have been pretty good at containing the run. And I don't think that you're going to contain Bijan Robinson. He looks like the real deal, guys. Don't you think? I mean, from what I saw a couple of them cuts and that he made and a couple of the moves that he had in that Green Bay game. And I'm telling you, this kid is the real deal. I really wanted the Lions to draft him. But they wouldn't have been able to trade back, get Sam Laporta and Brian Branch if they had done that. So I think the combination of 3 players, I mean, I hope that Gibbs isn't a bust, but I think he's going to be a good weapon for us. But we could be 1 and 2, Detroit, Daniel. Let's see what we got here. So I wanted to talk about, so the Vikings did make a couple moves this week that we could highlight right here. I'd like to know what you thought. They brought in Dalton Risner. I mean, he was on the streets, though. He was on the streets. And they brought him in. He's a pretty good pass protector. And then they brought in Cam Akers. So the Vikings are still in this thing. They're making moves as if they feel like they can still compete. And I think that's a good move, too. I mean, you never know. Brian Flores could be getting more out of this defense than what people thought. So them going out and getting Cam Akers, I don't know if that moves the needle all that much. I mean, you have to see. Like, Risner is a good pass protector, but he's not a very good, run blocker. And, that play action got no run game. Got no run game in Minnesota. Yes. So Jonathan says that the Lions will definitely have to be ready against Atlanta. Yes, that's a 2-0 team, man. Greg Rice was on here last week talking about how good the Atlanta Falcons could be. That they could be the surprise team in the NFC. They could be a playoff team.
Playoffs?
A playoff team.
Playoffs?
Yes. So You cannot take this team lightly. They got a great young roster, a lot like the Lions' young roster, and a lot like Green Bay Packers' young roster. So you can't look past these. There's so much parity in the NFL anymore that you have to be ready any given Sunday. That's why most of the games end up being like one-score games, down to the last. You have to learn how to function underneath the highest pressure moments, because a lot of people can play good in the other three quarters, of course, but it gets down to a pressure moment and a pressure in the volley. Look at it like tennis. Your offense and defense, you're just smacking the rock back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until finally you have to make a move. You got to make your move. In racing, you want to keep pace, and then you make your move. That's the way most games are played in the NFL. I mean, are we going to dominate people? No, you need to get stops. You need to have good offensive and defensive line, and you have to get stops. You have to be able to get stops. That's why they say defense wins, because at the end of the game, that's what it comes down to. Is you got to get stops. Somebody's got to get a stop. And if you're in a track meet with a team and it comes down to the end, it's usually the team with the defense that wins that. So the Packers are about to find out about that Aints defense. Jordan Love has an awful game. Okay. Jonathan thinking that the Saints are going to get the Jordan Love. This is definitely the best defensive front, all-around defense. That the Saints are one of those teams that shock good teams. I think that they whooped up on the Eagles last year. And they whoop up on teams that just have these high-powered offenses. And the Saints can get it done. The Saints are not a gimme team. That for any team in the North, anybody's looking past the Saints team, that's dumb. That's dumb. Detroit Daniel, we need another number 1 pick to grab Caleb Williams. Okay. Another number 1 pick. Why would you want to do that? Oh, they need another number 1 pick. Yes. Or they could just suck that bad. If we're talking about the Chicago Bears, if we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings, well, they like trading their picks to try to go for it, right? I mean, I think they're going to run Kwesi out of town when it's all said and done. Because, like I said, I don't mind them going out, go try to get Cam Akers, try to get some broken pieces from other teams. But that's going to run out. You're going to have to make a decision here on Kirk Cousins. I can't believe you haven't extended this guy yet. Because he's I mean, you have to be able to stop people, and he's been pretty good for you, and they don't want to commit to him. Robert says that the Bears are a GM in about 5 years from being anything noteworthy. When you look at all of the stuff that Ryan Poles has done, and all of the moves that he made, they were highly touted. He's out there, and we like this move, we like that move, we like Nate Davis, we like how they fixed everything. And then it came out, and those guys weren't very good. You got a couple decent linebackers. They're not anything to call home about. They're okay, and your secondary's beat up. Tyreek Stevenson is getting abused. Your rookie cornerback, these guys that you thought were going to be great. So you're way behind the 8 ball. If you're missing on draft picks, then maybe it is on Ryan Poles. And Justin Fields is out in the media. He's telling people, he's like, you know what? I got done, coach. Coaching needs to be better.
It's my quarterback.
Coaching needs to be better. I don't know what coaching you need. I mean, you need somebody to teach you how to throw the ball. If you could throw the ball, then you might be a better quarterback. I don't know what coaching is going to teach you, because if you're in the NFL as a quarterback, they probably assumed that you already knew how to throw the ball. And
It's my quarterback.
you don't. So that's the problem right there, is with that, Robert, is they have a GM and they may need a GM to bring them to that spot. The coaching, that might be something there too. Can Eberflus coach? That was one of the questions that I asked. Canada says that Watson is going to have a big game and ruin the Saints rankings. Okay. Watson is playing. So that's what you're saying right there. And that was reported. So Watson returned to practice. You're going to have your complement of wide receivers right there. And that the skill positions, it's funny. It's like I listened to Packer fan tell me how great Jordan Love is and how he's working with these rookie receivers and all this stuff. And I look at PFF and it's really quite the opposite of that. Jordan Love with the completion percentage, he's not completing. He's almost in the 50. You're not completing enough of your passes, but your skill position guys like Reed and Dobbs, they've been playing out of their minds. Their PFF rankings have been really, really good. So the skill positions are actually carrying Jordan Love at this point. But it really doesn't matter as long as you're winning and as long as it's working and you're getting W's. But the Saints, that's a good defense right there. I don't know how much Watson's just going to move the needle on that. Because they do good against superstar wide receivers as well. So Mike says 31-20 Kansas City. But if we can get turnovers, the Bears win 27-24. And he says so Mike is a Bear fan, still has faith.
It's my quarterback.
He still has faith that they can keep it close. But how do you expect that? I don't know where you could get the confidence from that from. I mean, didn't your defensive coordinator just get his house raided? And you guys got all kinds of outside drama. The teams that you're playing don't. Kansas City's, I mean, they lost the first game to the Lions, and now they got Chris Jones back in the second week. I think that you're running into a buzzsaw right here. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs bull rush over that 13 points, and it's going to be more than 13 points by the end of the day. That's cool though. I'm glad that. What is Carter was drafted instead of Giff? What if, I think is what you're asking. I'd be different. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. Carter looks like he's a pretty good player. I watched his first half. His first half, spectacular. But and Greg Rice could be right about this, but he did kind of disappear in the second half. And that was the thing on him, was that he could give you good production for a minute, but to stay in. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out. We haven't really seen what Gibbs can do yet. He's shown some flashes in there, and I think that he's going to get more of an opportunity to shine this week. So I'd like to see more of it. Now, would Carter have jumped right in the middle of that defense of the Lions and been a day one boom right in the middle? I think so. I think so. But I think that we believe in our guys. I still believe in the guys. I had a bad game last week. All of our defensive linemen last week, and that Seattle game, graded low in PFF. They didn't have a good game getting after them. But I think that the media was way too hard on them for what it was. I watched the whole game in its entirety again, and the Lions defense was playing good in the first half. Bend but don't break. They weren't giving away big plays. And they were up 14-7. They had a chance to go up 21-7 after halftime. And turnovers is what killed that game last week. They got to protect the football. As long as they don't turn the ball over, they should beat pretty much any team that they play. Laporta is the real deal. Laporta is better than Hawkinson. I agree with that. Laporta looks like he's a special player. Tight end is a very hard position to play. And for him to come out and be doing some of the blocking things that he's doing already. And I listened to the Steve Hayden interview when he was talking about Laporta. He's still a rookie, guys. I mean, he's still going to do rookie type of stuff, and tight end is hard. But for him to get out there, I mean, he sprung a couple blocks. He knows what the deal is. That's a great call. I like that. All right. Oh, Jake says Cam Akers. You want to pop in here with me, Jake? I would love to have a conversation with you, Cam Akers. Hey, I gotta report it, Jake. I'm sorry. This is an NFC North thing. I gotta report it. 11:20. I think it was like 12 minutes. I'm a little bit behind on the comments right here. End of the season, Packers division champs, and then the Vikings, Lions, and then the Bears. Okay, you think the Vikings are going to jump us? Oh man, this is lifeless and infernal bloods. You're a good troll. You're a good troll. Mike says, I don't think the Vikings win in a close. Oh, I think the Vikings win in a close one. Single Dads Club says the reason that why we lost against the Seahawks is that Brandon Brin of that good sports spun cursed the wheels number came up. So blame Pina. I don't know. We lost because turned the ball over. I mean, you come out of the halftime. I mean, literally the first play from scrimmage right there in the second half. Montgomery dropped the ball and gave the Seattle Seahawks a short field. It is what it is right there. I mean, you can go back and micromanage the rest of this stuff. Oh, he throws a pick six, right? He throws a pick six. Well, they came back from that. They came back from they recovered from that. So if they hadn't turned the ball over, they would have probably won the game convincingly if they didn't turn the ball over. And I know that they were preaching that all week this week in the Lions. And I get into Homersville right here, but I'm just kind of going with it. Bears Russ. Okay. Yes. We were talking. Sometimes I have a hard time differentiating in some of these comments right here. I will get better as we go along through this. Remember, I'm a newbie at this. I've been doing this about like 3 months on a day-to-day basis, right? So we're shooting from the hip. A-Dub says, I don't look past the Saints, but their defense has shown a lot or shown themselves up against subpar offenses like the Titans and the Panthers. Okay. I mean, that's still Derrick Henry. That's still a good rushing attack from that side right there. And this isn't, when I say that the New Orleans Saints are good at defense, this isn't just this year. This has been a long string of them fielding pretty good defenses in New Orleans. So, I mean, they played spoiler a bunch last year. I mean, they whooped the 49ers ass last year. I remember that game. So, I mean, they can get after you. What do you think of the Lions' bust at running back Gibbs? I kind of been there, and he's not a bust yet. Gosh, man. Is he a bust? Have you seen what you would think? What would you classify as a bust? I mean, have you seen the guy with a ball in his hand? I'll tell you what, Seattle's a pretty good tackling team. And they did do a good job at making sure that they got him down immediately once he touched the ball. They swarmed him. And the fact that they're already game planning, like anytime Gibbs is out on the field, you have to know where he's at on the field with his bustness, okay? So I guarantee that if your Green Bay Packers come through, and I can't think that that's who you might be, I don't know who you following. I think that you're a Green Bay Packer fan. But that's what I think of him. I think he's electrifying. I think they want to get him out into space, and if they get him out into space, he's going to score some long touchdowns this year. That's what I think about Gibbs. Mike says the Bears have Bagent. We don't need a QB. We need Harrison Jr. and an edge rusher and some O linemen. Are you really believing in Bagent? Are you going out there on a limb, Mike? I want you to throw that in there, and you want to tell me right now, because of what Bagent did in preseason, you're telling me that Bagent is an NFL starting level quarterback. Is that what you're telling me, Mike? Mike, come on, Mike. Really? Are we doing this preseason thing again? You know, Justin Fields also threw a couple touchdown passes, and everybody followed that train down there. Are you really doing this with Bagent? No, you do need a quarterback. And if you do tank again and you pass on Caleb Williams because you have Bagent, they'll put poles up on a stake in his head, and they'll run him out of town. You don't need a quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Oh, you Bears fans crack me up. Cousins will finish his career in San Francisco. You heard it here first, Chad, the soothsayer.
But they are who we thought they were.
Yes, got rid of the studs on defense too. Steve is real. Yeah. You watching Ohio State versus Notre Dame tonight, Russell? I will. I will be watching that game tonight. Yes, I am an Ohio State fan that lives in Michigan and is a Lions fan. My story is so fun. My story is fun. Yes. I moved to Michigan in the mid-90s, and I started a rock band. Yeah, and it was lots of fun. But yes, I'll be watching Ohio State. I'm still an Ohio State fan. And go Buckeyes. Jordan, NFC South is making us look like the joke division. Packers and the Lions got to win to even it up a bit. Yes, they have two teams. We may have two teams at 0-3 still. That's possible. That is possible because the Chargers ain't no joke, guys. Like if you are a Viking fan, God, the worst possible thing happened to you. You lost two of the games you probably should have won. Like you're looking at these and you're really thinking, wow, what the hell just happened? How did I lose these first two games? I mean, you definitely thought you were going to beat Tampa Bay, right? I mean, thought that was a lock, right? You were going to beat Tampa Bay. I mean, as a Viking fan, man, I want to hear from you, but they've been in witness protection. I don't expect to hear from any Viking fans that are going to talk positively on their team. I was trying to get Jamez in here. I sent him a link, but he didn't want to come in. So, I mean, I get it. Bears are going to ruin Caleb. Oh, Sarah's in there. Sarah, now she is a Viking fan. She is a Viking fan. I love Sarah as a Viking fan coming in there. You guys want Caleb Williams. Man, if you guys keep sucking the way you guys could get the first pick yourselves. You guys should trade Kirk Cousins after you lose to the Chargers, and then you'll get some value from Cousins, and then you won't win any games because you don't have anybody to throw it to Jefferson, and then you could have Caleb Williams next year on a rookie contract. Why don't you guys get it? Why don't you guys ruin Caleb instead? He's a Bear fan, high on crack. If history shows anything, people in Chicago do not know QBs. Sure, I wanted to make sure that that's what it was. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if he responded to that, but I don't know, man. How do you believe in Bagent? How do you go from, oh my gosh, Justin Fields finally realizing that Justin Fields is not the guy?
It's my quarterback.
and and Justin Fields starts self-imploding right here, calling out his coaching. That's the worst thing you do. Why are you going to do that? You're going to call out your coaching and then think that Badgett is going to be great because, wow, he lit it up against somebody's practice squad team. Like, come on, man. Come on. I might just have to have Robert come in here. Gosh, nobody else wanted to come in and talk to me today. I'll throw the link into the comments right here. And we got a few minutes that we can talk about this. This is fun to me because I know that we have college football starting here in about 15 minutes. So I'm not going to take up too much of your morning unless you guys want to keep going. But Funky Lions fan said the draft happens at Gift package deal with Laporta, and Laporta has been extremely productive, and Gibbs will get more reps this week. Yeah, I look at the Lions team is, we're a young team. So last year it was, you had a lot of these guys that you like, the Hutchinsons. They did draft well last year, but you had to let these guys kind of get their groove going first, right? And it's the same thing with this year. Every team's going to be doing with this. No matter how good your rookie is, he's not going to just jump right in and, and have continuity. Some of them get it quicker than others, but even the ones that are really, really good their rookie year, they're still learning stuff in their second and third year. So, it is what it is. All right. Look at that. Even almighty in the house. Packer fans representing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Steve is real. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Steve is real. Is he real?
Yes, I'm real.
Okay, you're a real dude. All right.
Real.
I wasn't sure.
So how we all doing tonight?
I am a down realist.
Okay.
Give me some real. Give me some.
Yeah, let's hear the real.
You want to hear the real? The thing of the real is, I'm happy for my Packers team. We're a young squad. We lost a close game last week, which didn't, it hurt, but didn't bother me because I think when the time comes, this team is, I know what Goody's wanting to do. He's wanting his own team. I think he's going to clear out some of the guys from the McCarthy years and stuff like that. And like I said, I was on the show with Robert and him last night, and I was telling him, I think in due time, this will be the last year for Bakhtiari to be a Packer.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Like I was telling them last, I would not be surprised. I know no one agrees with me with this, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised before the trade deadline somehow. Either Bakhtiari or maybe Josh Nijman is going to get traded. I just have this feeling because I know I can feel it. I know Goody wants to clean house. I know he wants to now to build his team. He's got his quarterback now in Love. Rodgers is gone. And I think in due time, he's going to put it. And I think in the long run, he's going to put an excellent team together. I know we're not winning a Super Bowl this year. I'm not stupid. If we go up against the Cowboys or the Niners or anything like that, we probably would get slaughtered against those defenses. I'm not stupid.
Well, you guys get to you get to figure it out, and I want to bring Evan in on this. So, are you guys a believer in Jordan Love?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
So you
Yes,
are a believer
sir.
now. Okay. And
So-
Steve is a believer, and I know that John Dorn that I'm bringing in right here. Welcome to the show. I know that you guys are all believers in Jordan Love right now, and I think that you have a good reason to do. I'm not gonna bag on the guy for throwing, a whole bunch of touchdowns and no interceptions. So that's good. Like the guy's been balling out for what's been given to him. I would like to see him complete a higher rate of his passes, but from what's been thrown out in front of him, he's been good. Been good. John Dorn, what are your thoughts on Jordan Love so far?
I think he's doing an excellent job. I mean, he's going to make some rookie mistakes. I mean, that's we've been expecting that. I mean, he's going to, but I think he's doing pretty good overall. I mean, shit, he's doing better than I thought he would actually be doing.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good test for you. I do believe that the Saints have the best defense that you guys have faced yet. I like the Tampa Bay defense, but I mean, the Saints beat the 49ers last year and whooped on there. I think it was the 49ers. I remember the Saints whooping on somebody that I didn't think that they were going to whoop on. And I believe
they always beat Tampa all the time. They got Tampa's number. Every time they play Tampa, they always beat them.
That team is that whole division is a weird division like that. Like all those teams got really good defenses, but they have these quarterbacks that are, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, these guys that are, you got a brand new guy with Bryce Young. Last year it was, Andy Dalton, the corpse of Cam Newton, and Baker Mayfield was over there. So it was like that whole division just had a weird quarterback carousel thing, but they all play pretty good defense. They're all pretty good up front.
It's like the Saints. The past two games, they only allowed one touchdown in the last two games, but teams moved on them. Panthers moved on them. They just couldn't score, and when they got the red zone, they just couldn't score on them. So I think the Packers, as long as they get the red zone, they can score on them. We should win this game. And which I don't, with Watson back, sounds like Jones will be back. We should be pretty healthy on offense. Besides our offensive line, hopefully Bakhtiari plays, but we'll find. That's another game day decision. But Jenkins won't be playing. He's out for a few more games yet.
And that's where I think that it becomes a problem. That's where I really want to see how Jordan Love can create when the pocket will collapse on him. Those guys those are significant losses.
Yeah, but he's only been sacked 2 times so far. 2 times only.
Right. So, but this is going to be his best test against that, and you're not going to have Jenkins. That you're not going to have your stalwart offensive line. Same thing with the Lions on the right side. We don't have Decker or our right guard, so it's like you got to figure these things out.
Yeah, you just make adjustments and get rid of the ball quicker. That's all. I mean, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to put some help over that way to keep them protected. But it's just like any other game. So if Rodgers was back there, it doesn't matter. You got to protect your quarterback so he can have a decent game. And
what I think is going to help is it's in Lambeau. If this was in New Orleans,
yeah, you're right.
This would be a problem. But I sent in a quote in whatever. If you look at it, guys, the Saints beat the Titans 16-15. I know this doesn't mean a damn thing because each week's a different week, different teams, and different schemes, and different stuff like that. And then they went off and beat the Titans 20-17. I mean, they won. They got a good defense, but with those scores like being close and who their quarter, I know this. I mean, I love Jordan Love. I believe in Jordan Love and whatever. With it being at home and it being our first home opener, I think that's going to be a uplift to us because Lambeau is going to be stellar. It's going to be busted plus
how many times do you hear them talking about in the locker room after a loss that it looks more like a classroom? The Green Bay Packers really don't want to recreate the same mistakes they made in that second game. I mean, we gave up a 12-point lead and complete collapse across the board in the fourth quarter. They do not want to do that again. Right. I mean, if we could have stayed away from that complete collapse, we still probably beat Atlanta. I mean,
with this being
that ending is what makes me pause on I'll give Jordan Love his credit for not making mistakes yet, but you had a chance in that fourth quarter on multiple occasions to close that game out and put it out of reach.
I was doing the whole Howard Cosell thing with the guys in the back chat. That I go, here we go. Here's Jordan Love's chance. 54 seconds to go down. Just if this was Aaron Rodgers, the Packer fans would be going, "We got this.
It's over."
But looking about it, the floor. Seems like whenever we get the fucking lead, he always takes the gas off the pedal, man. It's like, well, let's run the ball and run some clock down. It's like, I can see doing that if you're in field goal range and then run the clock down. But he likes to do it when we're on our own 20 or own 30. He's like, don't try to run the clock down. Get to at least field goal range and then to run the clock down.
Well, you want to call. I wanted to call that out because this was something that was brought up in the Lions game at the end, where they said that Campbell wasn't aggressive at the end, and his mindset on that was to shrink the clock back because he did not want to give them another play in regulation. Now you can't pick and choose which one of your plays you're going to run the clock down. You're going to be like, look, we got 3 plays here. We're going to try to get a first down with these 3 plays, but we're going to run down X amount of time on the clock regardless. Right. So I think that he's playing it like that. And I'm going to have A-Dub chime in right here. Please pause for the lag here. Go ahead, A-Dub.
Well, another thing you have to look at when it comes to that game is certain issues that stood out about it that Green Bay's been having their problems with over the years is that for some reason, we still are very poor in terms of being able to defend the run. And that was the biggest problem that stood out in that Falcons game is that we just couldn't stop that run game from those guys that our defensive front just kept getting blown away. Like, we couldn't generate enough pressure as far as getting to Ritter and wasn't able to stop the run. And also, granted, we did drop some interceptions in that game that we should have had.
Yeah, there was definitely some plays that were left out onto the field that you guys could have had. You guys could have won that game. You should have won that game, really.
Yeah, because coaching was suspect too. I mean, LaFleur passing on. We watched our rookie kick almost a 60-yarder in preseason. Here he is 52 yards out, and he decides to punt instead of in that first drive. They sacked him and knocked him back, and I mean, he didn't go for it. 52 yards, that's nothing. This guy's got a leg. Let's go. I mean, let's at least try it. I mean, I get it. I guess in practice, he wasn't hitting the big ones, so LaFleur didn't feel confident.
And it was indoors.
Yeah, but still, you got to go for that, man. You don't know. Some guys thrive on a game-time pressure, man. Some guys step up. And the only way you're going to find out is put the guy out there.
With it being indoors and no wind, they should have went for the field goal.
Yes, because that's 3 points, man. That's the game. That's what we lost by 1. I mean, bro, do the math.
I didn't know that Evan had gotten out right there. But you got to be careful not to shoot all over yourself. Don't shoot all over yourself, because the thing is that there's an ebb and flow inside of the game, and it's like you're looking at analytics, you're looking at where you're giving them the ball. All those things are factoring in, and you never know what was going through his mind as far as the ebb and flow of the game. So
it was the first drive, though. I would have went for it. I mean, that's where you take your chances, in my opinion. You go for it in the beginning of the game. You can recover if you don't make it, but you wait till the last minute and make a play like that, and fate is involved then.
Well, what?
Go ahead, Steve.
What I'm loving about Love, what's going to make me comfortable this year, is that what I hated about Rodgers, and I'm not trying to down the guy, but like Robert and John, you guys heard me last night sit and say that Rodgers had this thing: if he didn't trust a receiver after a while, he's not throwing it to him. I mean, I saw guys last year, they were wide open, and all because he didn't trust them, he didn't throw there. And I'm like, he was wide open. And I think that's why Rodgers is holding on the ball too long, is because he just does not trust who he throws to. And with Love, we ain't got to worry about that no more. Love is mobile, he can run, and he's going to throw the ball wherever. There's not that this guy's wide open. Oh, I don't trust him. I'm not going to throw there. And that's where I'm like excited about, where I'm like, yes, I feel good about.
Yeah, he's but he's not fully accurate yet.
He's not accurate at all.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But
you got to work on that.
You're going from probably the most accurate quarterback in NFL history to a guy that's barely cracking 50% on his.
But here's the thing, man. In Packer history, only 4 quarterbacks ever had. They started their career with 3 multiple touchdowns like that. Lynn Dickey, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love. I mean, he's in good company. It's not like
he pick sixes like Goff does.
Yeah, look, it's not even about pick six. He's going to throw them too. He should have had his first pick six last week. That guy in Atlanta dropped the ball. It was hit him. It's the same as Jair. It was thrown directly to him like they're on the same team, and they dropped it. Love should have had his first pick.
Did they say on our show yesterday that I have a feeling that tomorrow that Love is going to throw his first interception?
Yeah. John called it out last night. We talked about it.
I think he's going to have a bad game. I mean,
I don't think it's this week. I don't think it's against the Saints. Not our home opener. I don't think our home opener.
I think it's bad game against the Raiders.
Well, I mean, I hope that you, for your guys' sake, I hope that you guys don't win this game because, like, if you guys come in with your britches too high on Thursday, man.
Wow. I would think it would be the opposite because if we lose this game, we are really going to be gunning for you guys.
That's what I mean. If you guys go and you win and you win this game, and then you're going to be feeling really good going into this Lions game.
If we win this game, we just have the Lions coming in. The Lions, they look like crap past fucking few games.
Wow.
So we should be able to stomp the living shit out of the Lions.
I believe that.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's going to be a good. It's going to be a well fought game.
I already warned you in the offseason that your fucking secondary is trash, and you don't believe me.
What about my secondary? Isn't there, man? I mean, they gave up 24 points in regulation. They gave up 7 points in the first half. They turned the ball over 2 times. If you start turning the ball over, you're going to learn how to lose games.
Fuck yeah, you will.
That's just it. You know, I mean. If you want to hit on the secondary, that's fine. I mean, but they kept everybody in front of them.
Hey, Russell.
They were up 14-7 at the halftime with that. Then they turned the ball over.
Hey, Russell, that Atlanta secondary you better worry about. I mean, there's some stellar players in there.
There's some good guys over there, bro.
Yeah.
But Behan's going to be your biggest problem. I'm telling you right now, Behan's going to be your biggest problem.
Atlanta is not Seattle. I don't know where everybody got this whole thing like you can't even beat Seattle. Seattle was a playoff team that got better.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
I mean,
they just shit the bed the first week against the Rams. That's all. That's a
division game. I mean, a division games you got to throw all the bets out usually.
Yep.
Because they're gonna slobber knocker. It's gonna be.
That's why I hope you don't think you're gonna sweep us this year, Russell. You really don't think you're gonna sweep us this year,
Russ.
I do think that the Lions are going to sweep the Packers. I'm not going to go back on it. I made my prediction. I predicted
even after two games in, you don't want to change your mind.
No, I predicted that we would be 1-1 after the first 2 games. I mean, we're 1-1. Now the games that we won, I didn't think that we would beat Kansas City. I thought we would beat Seattle.
You thought it'd be flip flop. Yeah, I got it.
I think if they lose to Atlanta, then you got me worried. Because that's a team that I had as a win, and I think that they're going to win the game on Sunday or tomorrow. And,
I predict the Lions to win 24-18.
Yeah, that's interesting. Lots of field goals.
How's your run defense, Russell?
John.
Okay.
Well, they didn't play against anybody, so it's not.
Well, I mean, you're going to get a test. You're going to get a test. Anyway.
John, Pachenko, Kenneth Walker, and Charbonnet. Are you kidding me? That's two of the best running attacks in the league.
Yeah, but fantasy-wise, neither one of those guys are doing anything. They haven't been given the opportunity to say this is the week for Pacheco to break out. I'm not saying, look, bro. I'm just saying you're going to get. Look, we thought we had a decent run defense, man. Especially after a while we handled the Bears. And then Behan showed up, and I'm telling you, bro, that dude broke ankles. He broke fucking ankles out there, man. Go watch the tape.
Yeah, he did.
I watched it. I think Bijan's a badass. Honestly, if tomorrow, I do believe they will have a long run. I mean, I think Bijan's going to break one. He's that guy. You have to worry about him there. They block.
Contain him.
And watch him in the. He's a good check down too, man. Holy fuck, was he a good check down? That's how they got us on the yardage. That guy burned us so many times, man. Just sitting out in the flats, and then boom.
So, but here's where I think that the Lions will get the advantage. It is at home, and Ritter has not been a good away quarterback.
Yes, you're right about that.
He hasn't handled the pressure. So I actually think the Lions are going to win by a lot, and it's going to be because of Ritter mistakes, not necessarily because, I mean, I think they'll be up by a bunch, and then they'll hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson. He'll score a touchdown, but it's not going to be anything that matters. But I could be wrong. I mean, we might just get dominated again, and then John's on here next week calling same old Lions. I mean, I don't know.
You know that's coming. If you lose, it's coming, bro. Especially going into the week we face each other. Especially going into head-to-head week.
And we will deserve it. If they lose to the Atlanta, you got to win these games, guys.
Bro,
Like,
look, it's the biggest choke right now of our season. That 12 points we gave up in one quarter. 12 points. We had a 12-point lead. That fucking sucks.
We already dropped a home game.
They don't like it, and they're not going to make sure they don't do it again. So
that's right. I believe that. I mean, they literally the Packer reporter goes into the locker room and he goes, I've never seen it like this after a game. It's more like schoolyard in there. They're all talking about how they could have made it better, how they could have did this. These are all the players getting together talking about it. I mean, bro, they don't have to be talking about this after that, but they don't want to. They don't want to make that embarrassment again.
Hey, A-Dub. Whenever you want to talk, man, I was just thinking about this and I didn't even say it out loud. Just put your finger up. That way I'll know to have the person, stop. Go ahead.
Well, if I was going to revert back to something I mentioned before about the idea of Jordan Love having an interception, and I'm thinking this game could be a good chance he has it when it comes to me thinking about the kind of secondary the Saints have. Like, one of the most notable guys you got to watch out for is Marshawn Lattimore, their corner, and the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu that they got. Even he's somebody you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I'm less scared of him. I'm telling you, he was a lot of talk when he first came up. I'm less scared of the Honey Badger. But yeah, no, we talked about it last night, man. This is the game where, I mean, John called it out. He goes, I think he's getting his first pick. And, honestly, I'm good with that. As long as it ain't a pick six. I mean, every quarterback's going to throw an interception, bro. And if he hasn't done it yet, I mean, we're 2 weeks in. We're 6 touchdowns to 0 picks. I'm liking that. I'm liking it, but
hey, that's fine. But remember, one of the defenses that he threw the touchdowns against was a practice squad, high school defense.
I understand. Trust me. But if you would have told me, Russell, at the beginning of the year that Jordan Love's going to have 6 touchdowns in his first 2 games and no interceptions, I would have said you was a lying ass fool.
Jeremy Ballworth, that's pretty much like your fucking offensive line too, ain't it?
I wouldn't have. I mean, I hate to I don't want to. I'm not my own horn tooter, but I did kind of predict that this was going to be an ass whooping. I didn't really think that they were going to be able to compete against you guys right from the get-go.
Yeah, I totally was there too. My prediction was 37-10. At halftime, when we weren't even close, I was like, fuck, they better turn it on, man. Thank God we had a second half. I mean, but
that's just a team that isn't together yet. It's like they claim that you guys wouldn't be together without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Damn, it's like your whole damn team is being pieced together with bubble gum.
And that's all on their GM. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, Poles made all these. What did he do? You're seeing his moves. It ain't panning out, man. It looks like another 3-win season or less. I'm going to say that, or less, because they look like shit, bro. And nothing they doing. Nothing. And now they lost their defensive coordinator. I mean, it's a complete fucking dumpster fire over there.
All offseason, they bragged about how much money they got to spend and all the draft capital they have. And they come out and show that their team actually got worse.
Yes. That's unbelievable. And I've said this from the beginning. I'm not a fan of selling out and fire sailing your team.
Oh, man. So if you're just joining right now, it is Shit on the Bears Day here on Saturday morning right here. It's like the Cartoon Network from back in the day. Remember Saturday morning cartoon?
Saturday morning too.
It's Shit on the Bears morning here.
We can do the Vikings too. We can do the Vikings. They suck ass too.
Yeah,
hey,
let's be serious here. Let's about these Vikings right here. We did move through. Let's talk about these Vikings a little bit. The Ophers, man.
Yeah,
this is not an easy game for the Vikings just to go. This is not a get right game.
If Eckler was there, I would say the Chargers are going to stomp the Vikings, but because the Eckler's not there, it's anybody's game.
Vikings winning this game.
Yeah, I do too because of Eckler.
Oh, you got him winning, man. I hope not.
I don't
want them to win either, but
I don't want them to win, but I think they will. Tell you the truth, I think if you take away those turnovers, they're right in all those games. I have a feeling that they're going to
Four more. Let's see. Four more they give up.
Pretty darn good yet this year. I think
They
they're
give
going
more
to
than the Red Cross.
the Lions and put Lions in third in the division.
It's gonna be interesting. What if all the teams lose again? We're gonna be like the new NFC East.
Oh, that would suck, man. That would suck. Totally suck.
It's like you guys would be bragging, be like, "Yeah, we're at the top of the division, dude.
We're still number one.
Still number one.
Still number one.
Oh, man.
That would be the worst number one. I swear to God.
Yeah, that would be.
I would not be claiming that. Trust me, Russell. Not as a Packer fan. Not as a 30 plus year Packer fan. No way would I be accepting of that.
We were 0-4 last week, and oh gosh, not good. I mean, the whole division lost. It's really weird because that's the way my program works here on a weekly basis. It's kind of like the teams that get to beat their chests, and then there's the other teams that you get to make fun of. But it just turned out that like none of us really got to beat our chests this week.
Yeah, but win, lose, or tie, I'm still out here fucking gonna bash your fucking team.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Why not? Why not? We got Jeremy B. What's up, Jeremy B?
Not much. Just been listening and was waiting for the parents to shut up so I can hop on.
Well, come on, man. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Aaron Glenn is closer related to Matt Patricia than a defensive genius.
I love your takes, man. You got some good ones, man. You at least rip your team as same as everybody else.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. The numbers don't lie. We have the worst pressure rate since 2020. And the only thing that changed, we got rid of Todd Walsh, who designed those exotic packages for our D-line last year. He's not there. They hired Aaron Glenn's buddy, who's an Aaron Glenn yes man. And the D-line's not getting it done with better personnel on it.
Well, and now you lost Houston for what? 8
Yeah,
weeks?
and that was another brilliant move of defensive geniusry there. Think about this. He puts Houston in coverage on Will Dissly and lets Jack Campbell be the pass rusher.
Yeah.
Campbell's the better coverage linebacker, and Houston's the better rusher. So let's reverse that and look what happened.
Hey, I can't knock these guys. Look, last year we saw Preston Smith trying to cover Jefferson in our first game. So I mean, there's just I don't understand their thinking, these defensive coordinators. I mean, I love our defense, but the way we played on Sunday, we tired ourselves out. And by the fourth quarter, we had nothing left. It was gassed.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the James Houston thing, defensive coordinators have to try to get the most out of their guys, and they talked all training camp long about trying to get him out there on down 1 and down 2 because he's a pass rusher, and that's what he is. He's Yannick. He's Yannick, and you can run right at him. So he's either going to have to learn how to cover in a pinch, which he failed, or he's going to be a pass rushing specialist, which means that you don't get paid as much money.
He gets the leg downs. Yeah. No, that sucks.
I agree that they need to do that, but you work on that in practice, not in game, is what I'm saying. That's something you work on in practice.
It dictates whatever play goes out there. You have to do whatever your assignment is going to do. And that's more on Pete Carroll being able to scheme the matchup that he wanted with that and forcing him out there to do that than it is on like those guys not executing. That's not on Aaron Glenn for the guy not executing.
And nobody knew he was going to break his ankle like that to I mean, that's just, injuries are injuries, and maybe that's not the right choice, but you got to still test your guys. I mean, we're testing our guys constantly. Shit.
No, you guys are bringing up Bugs. No, is he a more run stopper or is he more of a pass rusher?
He is a space eater. He will fill the gap better.
Seems like a big dude.
He takes up blockers. So if you got him and McNeil next to each other, McNeil's been taking on double teams the whole time. Everybody else has been one-on-one. And they might chip Hutchinson with a tight end or a running back in the process. Yeah. And that's how teams have been beating us because nobody else is doing anything because they're losing their one-on-one battles.
Well, what happened between week 1 and week 2? Because week 1, Hutch fucking rushed the shit out of the passer.
He actually had a pretty good pressures here. It just wasn't hitting home. And I don't like this new spin move he's doing. I think he's actually getting dizzy and losing orientation because
Really?
he's getting past guys, but after he gets past them, he can't find the quarterback.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
I mean,
about.
that's what I'm seeing. I'm just saying what I see.
So is he coming off like wonky? Is he like tipsy, like he's drunk when he comes out of his spin?
I don't know. He just looks lost. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're
Where's the quarterback going? It's going to be over here somewhere.
Right, exactly. That it doesn't help that when he's being held, he doesn't act like he's being held till after he's let go. A ref is not going to call that if you're not doing it at the time it's happening.
He needs to go work out with LeBron during the offseason so he can
Better flopping.
Learn how to flop. Learn how to flop. Acting classes or something.
Yeah,
He needs
yeah.
some acting classes. And you know what? Like, I don't blame referees, but I hated the end of that game. I hated watching every time they show the last play of that game. You see the blatant hold that they missed, and it sucks. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to blame that thing, but it's like you missed.
Right.
Look at that.
Man, I cannot blame one play to, the reason the game went the way it went. There's like 100 plays in the whole fucking game, man.
Well, they turn the ball over.
One thing changes it and it's different. I get that, but I can't. The refs they're human, man. It's going to happen. That's why I say everybody's like, now when I say this, I don't want you guys to freak out. Every team gets 3 challenges. You should be able to challenge, as long as you have a challenge, you should be able to challenge any play on the field at any time. You only have 3 of them. And if you had that, you would be able to change a lot of misjustices just by that. But because it's a human choice or a ref's call and you can't challenge it, that's bullshit, man. Because they get it wrong all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I got to go on record here so somebody on here doesn't say that I'm blaming referees. So here's what would have happened if they would have called that. I am not saying the Lions would have won the game if they would have called that hold. What would have happened was it would have been 3rd down and 20, and they would have had to try to score a touchdown. They probably would have kicked the field goal, and the Lions would have got a chance to win the game if they would have done their job correctly. But it's like, it just sucks seeing it on the last play of the game and watching it on a you go inside of the game somewhere and you're like, oh, this play was bad, that play was bad. I don't subscribe to that, but when it's on the last play of the game and we're just not going to call that's where I have a problem with it.
Well, and that's why I say, man, you should be able to challenge if you have a challenge left. But see, therein goes the rule. In the last 2 minutes of the game, nobody can challenge. It's supposed to be, but that's the reason they have that rule is because every play is looked at. They only do it in the final 2 minutes, so they're going to catch any mistake. They should have caught that. If they're going to stick to this, you can't challenge these rules, then someone needs to call them out on missing plays, exactly blown plays like that.
Yep.
Right.
And you know what? And save your freaking email. You want to
just the Lions curse,
after
that's
the game
all.
is over? You want to email my team after the game is over and say, yeah, I guess we missed that one. Save it.
Yeah.
Save it. Save
Yeah,
your apology.
Isn't
Get
that
it right.
Isn't that where the quote from Dan Campbell where we say we're tired of that shit? Isn't that where it came from?
Yeah.
You've had enough of that shit.
That one.
Well, he tired of
when he
coach
was-
speak. That's where enough of that shit came from.
But
you don't want to hear
anyways,
that.
The thing is, we all know if you hold them inside the shoulder pads here, it's not a penalty. You can grab their jersey, grab their shoulder pads, and throw them down. When you can see his sleeve is in the guy's arm and you can see the outside of his shoulder pad, that's a hold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there was no doubt, but that's the thing. We don't get the win. We don't get to go back and change the outcome, so it doesn't even really.
There was 8 plays that cost this game. 8 of them. Number 1, we were at the very edge of where Patterson is accurate on his field goal range. We go for it on 4th and don't make it. That's 3 points we don't get to score.
I disagree with that one.
And when they drive, they score a touchdown. So that's a 10-point swing overall if you think about it. You lose the 3 points you could have had, and they got 7, right?
Yeah, but you're
That's a
talking
10-point
about the
swing.
results of that. The analytics proved that was the right move.
I understand what the analytics say, but the optics of it is exactly
Okay, well,
what I
they
said.
didn't get the fourth down. That's like saying, I don't like it when you don't get it on fourth down. I only like it when you get it on fourth down. You can't do that. You can't have it.
I've said ever since the preseason when they actually did it the right way one time, they sat there and tried to draw him off.
No, they did it the Jeremy way one time. It's not the right way. It's just something that you disagree with, Jeremy.
Traditional football is the right way.
No, it's not. It's not the right way. It's your way. Dan Campbell has a way that he's been consistent with. He's coaching these games, and he's been very consistent with it. He hasn't even.
You're right.
He did it this way in the preseason, and it gave me hope he was going away from the aggressiveness. Is what I'm saying.
He did it in week 1, man, against the Chiefs when he went for it on fourth down and got it because
that's what Dan Campbell does. He plays desperate.
I mean, bro. I mean, they didn't get it, and then Tony dropped all them passes there. But dude. That was a gamble in week 1. It would have backfired on him, but it didn't. And then week two, he went for it again, and it backfired. So right now you're 50-50 this year, 2023, with Dan Campbell taking those shots. 50-50.
I am so I'm so into it because
it's like, what's he gonna do next game? Let's bet if he's gonna do it a third game. Every game he's gonna do it. Watch, he's gonna be a couple
He's
times.
gonna do it every game because that's
He's
what
gonna
he
do
does.
it every game.
If you read that article on the analytics, it's really cool because you can see how he is like envisioning his aggressiveness, because when the numbers are close to the win, to the fail, to the win-loss, it's not as much about whether they get it or not get it. It's about the outcome at the end of the game. If those numbers are close, he always takes the aggressive approach to it.
But one thing about it, teams are going to start getting smart. They're going to when they start playing the Lions, they're going to be ready for it.
It has nothing to do with smart, John.
Yeah,
it has to do with having an extra play.
It's his mentality. It's the way he thinks about it. And look, a lot of what he does, I don't disagree with. I mean, I disagreed in the Kansas City game because I thought that's a huge risk. You're talking the best quarterback probably in the league, and you're going to give him the ball at midfield? Are you out of your fucking mind? You could pin this guy inside you could pin him inside the 10 and call it good. You know, you could have corner kicked it right out, punted it right out, had him pinned inside the 5 easily.
So the fake punt, that in that first game, that was crazy. And I think that he handles the fake punts with a different analytic. I think that I literally think it's like Russian roulette, where they decide, like, look, the third punt that we have in this game, we're faking it. I don't give a shit where it's at.
I heard that they've seen something that they like, and then they're going to do that same show that they were going to do that play.
You think so? You don't think they had it? You don't think they had it planned?
No, they seen something from the prior one. They seen something, and then they said, "Hey, if they do this again next time we punt, we're going to go for it." And they showed the same thing, and then that's when they went for it.
That was the first. That was our first offensive possession, though. I thought.
No, that was your second one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because you're right. Because the first one, it kind of made sense because they're like, look, we can't go.
And they said they showed it again. We're going to go for it.
And it worked, man. And it was really weird too with Jalen Reeves-Maybin, right up the gut. And that's where you like it. You're like, oh God, I hate that guy. I actually hated that call way more than any of the fourth down calls in the Seattle game. I don't mind.
I prefer when they do it out of the punt formation because it catches the defense off balance. When they leave the offense out there, they can key in on it more, is what I'm getting at. I like those trick plays that we did out of the punt formation better. You say what you want, but when we go for it and leave the offense out there, they had our number already. They stopped us 3 times. Why leave the offense out there? Throw something that gives them a wrinkle.
They were 1 for 3, so it's like they got stopped. It's the pick six, man. Like when we look at these turnovers, man, it's like I rewatched the whole game in that Seattle. The defense was on point in the first half. They were giving up all of the yards in between the 20s, and then they shrunk it right up. They didn't let them score touchdowns. They held them back to field goals. That's the way it was working. They were up 14-7 with the ball.
You guys were very quiet the first half. It was very close. You guys were in it with the whole first half.
So the defense had a game plan and it was like working right there. And then they fumbled the ball and it fucked up the whole, whatever they were talking about at halftime to step on the gas, to try to finish the game out. It all got messed up within the first 2 series with the fumble. And then it was like a 3 and out on the next one. Then they injured Vaitai and then it was a pick 6. It's just like, yeah, I mean, you want to blame it all on Glenn, that's fine. We'll see what he does this week. I mean, he has a chance in Ford Field
out on it,
and he has a chance. Well, of course. What do you think he's going to do? Throw his defense under the bus or throw his coaching under the bus like Justin Fields? It'd be dumb for him.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
No, I'm saying Glenn called himself out. Is all I'm saying.
I want to talk to you guys.
Good. That's what good coaches do. Is they don't blame other people. They take full accountability for the failings on themselves. That's what they did. But it doesn't mean that he thought that he was the worst defensive coordinator, that he called like the worst game in the world. They already said, they came out and said they don't regret any of the things that they did or any of the decisions that they made. It all played out. It's an overtime loss to a playoff team from last year that got better. They got better and we got better. So it's like,
I just think it's sad through two games. The last year that Petrasha was here, we had better pressure numbers. We had better pressure numbers than Glenn has through 2 games.
Through 2 games.
Yeah, not for the season. I'm talking about for the 2 games, the first 2 games of the season that year.
Yep.
And the first 2 games this year, with way better talent than we had in 2020. We know that Petrasha couldn't develop a player any more than he could Polaroid film.
What was Jameer's Gibbs stats in that game?
Yeah, Jameer was quiet last week, right? He had no nothing like on the stat line. I think it was pretty low.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
Because why is this guy not being played? I mean, 1st round pick.
Well, they have to now because Monty's out.
Right, but still, okay, Monty, yeah, but
that's why they had Monty. They were leaning on Monty. That's what they've been doing the first 2 games.
Okay, they get Monty from the Bears.
Yes, that's why. He had wrong road on that pick 6.
He had 14 touches each game.
Yeah.
They need to be playing this guy more.
If he's anything like Behan, like I seen little flashes of him. I watched you guys play him in the first game. He showed those flashes of a Barry Sanders too. But then we saw it. We really saw Barry Sanders too last week. I'm sorry, guys. Behan's the real deal. You guys should have drafted him. Just saying. Maybe. I don't know. Gibbs. Yeah, look, it's too early to. I heard those guys calling Gibbs a bust. It's way too early to call. You got to give a guy a season before you can even say he's a bust or not.
Usually 2 seasons before you.
Well, I'll give you a season because if you're the real deal, especially a number 12 pick, Jeremy, come on, bro. You better be showing out the first week. I don't know why you guys ain't playing him more. Maybe just slow bringing him in. But I mean, 12 pick, he should be starting.
I think they don't know how to use them yet.
A-Dub, go ahead. Grabbing a running back with 12 picks.
A-Dub, go ahead, A-Dub.
Well, actually, when you guys want to talk about judging a pick, I'm more on the boat to where you got to give them at least, I'd say give them 3 to 4 years of play in the NFL before you can judge a pick personally, because every pick from the 1st to 7th round, they can always have a slow start with their first 2 years, and you see them turning around another year. Whether it's going to be a change in the coaching staff, a change in the system, it's always going to be something that happens where a pick that turns out to be a bust may turn it around based on a certain change somewhere. So that's why I say you got to give them a certain length of years to play.
You definitely have to give him a certain amount of length and to even think. I mean, Gibbs hasn't been like a bad player or something. Like, I mean, they did a good job at tackling all the way around in that Seattle game. Pete Carroll always has a well-disciplined. You don't really break very many tackles against that team. Some teams are just really, really good at tackling. So that doesn't mean that he's not going to break a big touchdown in the next game when they get him out into space. That's thing with that guy. You know, you want to get him out into space.
Well, that was the thing with Behan last week is we had a guy. A lot of times we touched him in the backfield. we didn't tackle.
Yeah, tackle's one arm though.
We fucking you cannot one arm tackle this guy. He's shifty as hell. I'm telling you, man, you guys are going to get everything you can get from him. I thought Algiers was going to be the problem, but I mean, even he got put down. I mean, they started going with the hot hand. If he gets going, that's what happened. They just kept feeding him the ball. They were passing him the ball. I mean, literally, to see our guys get the guy's good. He's going to be a force. He's going to be definitely a force in the NFL in the future.
Jim did show what he can do in the passing. He fucking runs the wrong route. How do you think that pick six happened last week?
Yeah, I don't know who that was on.
Yeah,
I mean, Goff put it on himself. He said that he short-armed the throw. So, I don't know. Maybe Gibbs ran the wrong route and Goff took the blame for him. That's possible.
Pretty much what he did.
But it's 12:30, man. I'm done with everybody shitting on the Lions here, including
nobody's shitting on the Lions. Hey, man, you guys have a good weekend. Good luck. All your games. Go, Pack, go.
Same old Lions.
Same old Lions.
See you Thursday.
Take care, everyone. Everyone be safe.
Awesome. I'm going to close everybody out. Go ahead and plug your show, Jeremy.
Well, check me out on ECAP Biting with the Detroit Lions. Check out my writings at the SouthFloridaTribune.com under the Motor City Tribune heading. I write various articles, including the one where I compared Aaron Glenn to Matt Patricia.
Got some real hate there, bro. You can sense it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we play that soft East Ends again, I want them gone.
Well, I'm sure that they'll listen to you.
No, I'm just saying. Hey, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it.
Yes, sir.
So follow us at the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. If you're a Packer fan, go follow Bill the Packer fan. If you're a Bear fan, go ahead and follow Mike the Bear fan. Yes. Thank you for watching today's program. Actually, I'm going to end it with the Detroit Lions Villain Squad right there, just because I want you to go follow my page. The YouTube page right there. Thank you for liking that. There's actually as many people liking that. If you are watching it there, please like that broadcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This has been NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne. Did a special Saturday show today because I wasn't able to come on yesterday. And thank you very much. So I'll say this to you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again on Monday morning. God bless you. One Pride. Right. I want to thank everybody for watching the broadcast today.
Are you still live?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, that is live. Okay. I want to talk to you after you're done being live. You got it, man.
All right, then. So thank you, everybody, for watching the broadcast today. I am going to throw the YouTube link into the comments right there. Over at Detroit Lions News, NFC North main event, Mike the Bear fan, Bill the Packer fan. Please go over to the YouTube channel, wherever you're watching it from. Give us a subscribe. Hit the like button on that video. We really appreciate you guys. Who do you got? Bears versus Chiefs? Throw it into the comments. What are you going to do? If you're a Bear fan, you guys talked all that shit all summer long about MVP.
Oh my God.
Just too much. But how much do you think you could trust? Minnesota Vikings. There's another one I got right. It just feels good to be right.
Sure.
0-2 Vikings. Who do you got? Throw it into the comments. Lions and Falcons. That's Lions at home. Can they get it right? Can they right the ship? Can Aaron Glenn's defense bounce back? Throw those picks into the comments. And then there's them Saints and Packers. It's the Packers home opener. What are they going to do? Saints defense is pretty good. Love gets a chance to prove once again that he's a legit NFL quarterback. Thank you for watching the broadcast today. I appreciate you guys. And this one might hurt your feelings, Robert.
It's not fair. They were so happy. It's not going to be okay.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. You have a great day.